So a lot of the times, the bad players are gonna three bet you, right? But you want them to start playing three bet you because you're hoping to grab a hand like Ace King, or or Aces Kings, obviously, and try to build a big pot. You see what I'm saying? All I'm saying is keep it the same. If you like your 3x, do your 3x. For me, I don't like 3x because 2.5x does the same job. It costs less, and you're not investing a lot, right? Because how many times compare the good cards to the bad cards, right? You're always getting bad cards, so that means you're gonna be doing that a lot. So do you really? Because you want to be active, but do you want to keep on doing 3x with bad cards? Do it at 2.5. You get pot odds to do that. It's a great move, I think. Mathematically, it makes sense. And even if they play you post flop, you gotta you gotta become strong in post flop play with this style. So look, we do get a caller, and now the flop comes Ace 10-7. Beautiful card for me. But how do we make money from this pot? Now he checks, I bet, and he calls. So right away we have to start putting him on a range, right? He could have easily an ace, right? Or he could have something silly like king, queen, queen 10, just call one bet to see how I do on the turn, and then a four of spade comes out. He could have ace 10, but I guess I'll find out now with this type of turn if he has very strong, right? But I mean, I'm not, with my stack with 20 big blinds, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just saying, whatever it is, I'm hoping he has an ace, a weak ace. Obviously, I don't want him to have ace 10, or I want him to have a 10, like a king 10, queen 10, and he's just trying to see what I do on the turn. A lot of people play like that. They try to read you on the board. And so knowing that, remember from what we read in that one lesson, I mean, it's a trick that I know for a while, but look how it comes into effect here. I remember this. He checks, and I quickly bet 3/4 the pot. Normally, my bets are half the pot. But my thinking is this. If he didn't believe me to have an ace, let's say he has a weak ace, okay? Maybe he'll fold here. Or maybe he'll just call. Either or. Let's say he has ace jack or ace 9, ace 8, and he's nervous about, me having a bigger ace. So he just calls to see how I do in the river. But what a lot of these players are not thinking about is how when they call with this stack, if he calls that, he's committed. So if he's going to call that, just raise all in, which he doesn't, and this is what they do. Because I did this so quick, I'm guessing he thought I was bluffing. Maybe thinking, why is he betting so big trying to get me out of this hand? I didn't believe him on the flop. I definitely don't believe him now. That's how a lot of these guys think. And then he calls. And look at this compared to that. He's forced to go all in. He checks it, hoping that I check behind because he doesn't believe me I have an ace. And of course, I just do that. 1,800 into a 8,500. For him, it's gonna be 1,800 to win 96.85. He has to call. He's getting 8.17 to 1 odds. He needs to be correct 11% of the time. He has to call. He's obligated to. He's pot committed. And this is how you catch him. And what did he have? I win. He had king 10. He didn't believe me on the flop when I did. And because, think about this. He called my flop bet because it's reasonable. He knows I'm going to, since I raised pre-flop, he knows that I'm going to have to continuation bet with the ace. That's a great continuation bet flop. So he calls me, right? I knew if he had any piece, even the 7, a quick bet on the turn is going to fool him into thinking either he's going to believe it too. It's polarized. It's either he's going to believe me or he's not going to believe me. If he calls that, I mean he believed me and he fell for the trap, which he did. That's an attacking trap where you can get a lot of people. And you see how I just doubled up there? That's an example of why I want to go over these lessons. Don't change your whole game. Just add these weapons to your arsenal, to your tools. Like a chef with many knives. You have knife for a different situation, and you know when to use those knives, right? The same thing with the poker, my friend.